We'll move over to our new business, and I'll read it into the record that the temple has tabled their application and waives all limits, and that is 12-2-C, 12-3-C, 12-4-C, and 12-3-ST, as well as 12-4-SUB. Is there a motion on the floor?
Motion to accept?
Second.
Is your motion to accept the table, or not accept the table, but to grant the table?
Yes.
Motion to grant the table,
Provided that this is the last table.
this
that don't
one
mean-
time only.
Okay.
There you go.
Mr. Dice, when would be appropriate time to comment or ask a question about it?
Before, has there been a second?
Yeah, then I'll open it up
Okay.
for any questions.
Well, you can't.
Not if it's
you can't
tabled.
discuss tables one
Oh,
second.
that's right, that's right.
So who seconded?
Mr. Wilson.
Why don't you withdraw your
I
second?
can withdraw my second.
Okay.
All we have is a motion, and if you have something you want to
It's
say.
just it's a question. They sent the representatives from the temple sent us a letter about withdrawing one of their conditional use applications. Is that something that we would accept, that portion of it?
I'm reading that letter. All I dealt with was the,
The next letter, and it was in regards of this tower or the spire. And actually, I think that's important for the residents of that area to know that.
okay, so which one is that?
That's application 12-4C.
And that was another question. I believe they actually referred to it incorrectly in the letter. The letter, they're referring to 12-3-C, but they are speaking of the spire, that they actually are, well, I'll just go ahead and read the letter, if that's okay for the.
Yes.
After reviewing our building, this is Mr. Hughes and Mr. Shufo. After reviewing our building, please refer to the latest front elevation drawing submitted by the architect. The headroom for the elevator is removed, and therefore the total height is changed, I'm summarizing, to 32 feet, which is under the 35-foot height limit, and the spire is within the legal requirements of municipal ordinances. That was a question that some of the residents had as far as granting, I guess it'd be a conditional use. It wasn't a variance, it was a conditional use to actually have the taller spire. So actually, they are withdrawing that because now they'll be within the
All right.
set
so-
limits.
So, Linda, why don't you withdraw your motion to table at this point?
I'll withdraw.
Okay. Then a motion's in order to accept the withdrawal of 12-4-C?
That's SUB.
No, C.
Oh, is that C? Oh,
It's a
okay.
conditional use. 12-4-C. Is there a motion to accept the withdrawal of that?
I'll make a motion to accept the withdrawal of 12-4-C,
Okay.
conditional use.
Is there a second?
Second.
Roll call, Sharon, please.
Mrs. Gatos.
Aye.
Dr. Grieslock.
Aye.
Mr. Harvey.
Aye.
Mr. Johns.
Aye.
Mr. Clary.
Aye.
Mr. Duncan.
Aye.
Mr. Wilson.
Aye.
Should I revise the
Now
table?
a motion's in order to table the rest of the applications as previously stated by Linda.
Can I ask one quick question? I apologize.
Sure.
Is this this motion that we're withdrawing here, we're letting them do, is that because, if I understand, they're putting something underground to make their, am I understanding something right? I think?
In the discussion I had with the temple representatives yesterday, and can I comment on this?
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
There's two different options, depending on how they develop the temple itself. If the first floor only exposes 40% of the wall surface, it's not counted as a story as per the zoning ordinance. So they're either going to bury the first floor and have the second floor be the first floor, and then the spire, or under the zoning ordinance, under section 206.4, when a spire, steeple, elevator, bulkhead, communication tower, antenna exceeds the height limit, they're automatically granted the permission to put that spire or steeple there if the building is set back 1 lineal foot for each foot they are above the 35-foot height limit in that zoning district. So that gives them that right without going through a conditional use process for that to be granted to them. The reason why this is here, originally when this application was filed, this temple was 3 stories, and the spire plus the buildings was going to be a total of 78 feet. They revised the temple, downsized it, and now there's 2 sets of drawings. In the set of drawings that the engineer provided to us, it does show that the elevator bulkhead, or the header room, and the steeple are at 50 feet. The elevation drawings that we currently have that were provided to us shows the building not to exceed the height limit, but the spiral steeple will be at the 50-foot elevation. So they are permitted to do that under the zoning ordinance because the building is stepped back 1 lineal foot for each foot over above the height limit.
Any questions on that, council? I thought, you did a good
There-
job last
One
week.
other thing, too, on this steeple. I know that this is a very controversial development, and I want to make sure that this is all out for everybody to listen to. There was a comment made at the Citizens' Night that there was going to be internal illumination like a beacon on top of the steeple. I talked to the representatives. There will not be any internal illumination of that steeple whatsoever. However, there may be a few exterior lights that will shine directly upon that spire or steeple from either the roof elevation or some other area. But that light cannot escape that property line as per the zoning ordinance. It cannot
Does that mean that no one in Turnpike Gardens should be able to see that?
I'm not saying that there's not going to be objectionable glare as a result of that lighting down there, but they're required to provide .5 foot candles of safety illumination to illuminate it for the people to go in and out of the temple to their cars and to the temple. That light, under the zoning ordinance, cannot escape the footprint of parcel 3, which the majority of the development is going to be on. And if you look at the foot candle or the photometric plan that was provided to us by their engineers, it clearly states that the foot candles are at 0 at the property line for this development.
Once again, council, any further discussion?
I want to go back to what we just voted on. They have, in the letter, it's 12-3-C, which isn't correct.
Correct. That needs to
I would actually, can I withdraw my aye?
I'm sorry?
This is.
You withdraw your vote?
Yeah.
You're voting no.
I'm voting no because they're talking about the steeple, but they're citing the wrong conditional use. 12-3-C, which they're citing in the letter.
So basically, we should all be voting no because it's
incorrect.
We made that
I thought it was
correctly.
stated
There was a
that it was
correct-
12-3. I thought it was stated as 12-3
That's what Mark said.
for our vote.
No, stated as 12-4 for the vote,
I'm
which is
sorry,
proper.
12-4 for the vote.
But the letter does say 12-3, which is incorrect, but we stated it as 12-4.
The
which is-
conditional use application that pertains to the steeple is 12-4C. You're right, that is wrong on this tabling letter.
I don't want to agree to change anything if it's, if this is a legal document, if it's incorrect. I think it needs to be
I
correct.
mean, would they have to resubmit this? Can we get them to resubmit?
I don't want this to have to come back.
Let me ask the solicitor, Mr. Dice, if they were to provide a revised letter, can we enter that as
Sure.
an exhibit at the next hearing?
Sure.
And then council can take action at that point in time?
Okay, so now let's make a motion to withdraw. You guys are killing me here. All right, let's make a motion's in order to withdraw the approval of 12-4-C.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Roll call, Sharon, please.
Mr. Wilson?
Aye.
Mr. Duncan?
Aye.
Mr. Clary?
Aye.
Mr. Johns?
Aye.
Mr. Harvey? Dr. Griesbach?
Aye.
Mrs. Gatos?
Aye.
Now, my advice is to have them resubmit a letter, and we'll deal with that issue next month at the time when they come through with their application. Now, the motion to table with the condition that, the express condition that this is the only and last table that we're going to hear or accept is in order.
I will make that motion.
I will second that motion.
Roll call, Sharon, please. Thank you.
Mrs. Gatos?
Aye.
Dr. Griesach?
Aye.
Mr. Harvey?
Aye.
Mr. Johns?
Aye.
Mr. Cleary? Mr. Duncan?
Aye.
Mr. Wilson?
Aye. So, Paul, at council's direction, then, send a letter out saying two things: that we've approved the tabling, and that there will be no other tablings that'll be permitted, and that they are to resubmit a letter to be accurate about what it is that they're asking to be withdrawn.
Understood.
Okay, well, Council.
Or Mark, one of you. I'm sorry.